The newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Around 1 million bivalent COVID-19 jabs are expected to arrive in the country by the end of March. The health department said the second-generation vaccines will come from the COVAX facility. The agency added that it is in talks with other countries that offer donations of bivalent shots. Priority groups will be determined depending on the supply that the country will receive. Bivalent jabs are said to provide better protection against COVID-19 caused by new variants. New data abroad shows a possible link between stroke and Pfizer bivalent vaccines. U.S. health officials said they detected the jabs linked to ischemic stroke in people aged 65 and above. However, the rate of strokes observed in the vaccine database had slowed in recent weeks. Infectious disease expert Dr. Rontgin Solante explained that the link found was very weak and that there are other factors to consider.
And I think most of the observation here with the stroke is a very weak link, and alam mo naman Ed, ang 65 years old, may mga comorbidities yan, no? May mga other factors that they consider. And it doesn't directly mean na ang bakuna is the one causing the stroke.
Health Officer in charge Maria Rosario Vergere says she is now ready to be appointed as secretary. Vergere explained that her experience on the ground made her decide to take on the highest position at the agency. She clarified, though, that there will be a process in which she will have a discussion with President Marcos Jr.
Hindi niya kailangan akong lapitan para maging Secretary of Health ako. Ako po ang magsasabi sa kanya, ako po ang makikipag-usap sa kanya. Sa tingin ko ngayon, with all of these things happening at sa lahat-lahat ng trabahong kailangan gawin for us to really improve on our healthcare system, sa tingin ko, this is the appropriate time for me to help the country.
While some groups back Vergere to be the DOH chief, there are also those who criticized her leadership.
Sinasabi niya na sana tutugunan niya itong mga issues ng health workers. Pero sana, bilang YC, tugunan na niya. Hindi na yan aabot sana maging permanent na siya as Secretary of Health. Kaya kung mayroon ka talagang pangangalaga at pagkalingan sa mga health workers, dapat as early as possible na nandyan ka sa pwesto, tinugunan mo na ito.
President Marcos has appointed Valenzuela Representative Rex Gatchalian as Secretary of the Social Welfare Department. Gatchalian, who was also a former mayor of Valenzuela City, is replacing broadcaster Erwin Tulfo after he was bypassed by the Commission on Appointments. In a tweet, Gatchalian thanked Marcos for the appointment, saying that it allows him to serve the country in a much larger capacity. He also assured the residents of Valenzuela that the caretaker lawmaker will be appointed by the House of Representatives soon. We will be back with more stories after the break with Here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Senators consulted with economic managers on safeguarding the proposed Maharlika Investment Fund. The economic briefing came ahead of reports that Norway's wealth fund suffered a loss of over $1,664 billion in 2022. Norway's president attributed the loss to inflation, high interest rates, as well as the ongoing war in Ukraine. Senator Mark Villar, who filed the Senate version of the Maharlika Fund bill, said the economic briefing will be helpful when his committee's hearing begins tomorrow, January 27. This as the Senate was able to ask economic managers about their concerns about establishing the Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Mga concern sa provisions ng bill, sources of funding, kung ano po yung mga controls, at kung saan po gagamitin yung funds. Sa tingin ko, kasi maganda yung mga sagot ng ating mga managers, and of course, we're able to tackle a lot of issues.
Meanwhile, Senate President Mig Zubiri advised Villar, who also sits as chairman of the Committee on Banks, Financial Institutions, and Currencies, to not rush the MIF bill. Zubiri also suggested inviting members of different sectors during the committee hearing to find out how a sovereign wealth fund would affect them.
He should give time to all sectors. In other words, huwag niyang madaliin to. My opening statement yesterday, napasalamat ako sa Pangulo dahil si Pangulo mismo nagsabi, huwag madaliin ito. Dahil maraming aspeto kailangan natin tignan, and he wants to make sure that the fund sources are there, and he wants to make sure that the management team are quality managers that will be chosen in the strictest way possible. He wants to make sure that there are safeguards in place.
More than 200 military and police personnel have been deployed to search for the missing Cessna 206 plane in Isabela. On day 7 of the search, personnel from the PNP Special Action Force have joined the operations. Jenny Dongon with the report.
After days of suspended aerial searches due to inclement weather, air assets from the Philippine Air Force resumed flying Tuesday to continue the search for the Cessna 206 plane that went missing in Isabela over a week ago. Search parties scored the mountains of Sierra Madre to check for traces of the aircraft. But due to thick clouds blanketing the mountains, they were not able to get a good visual. Authorities also saw difficulty getting near Site Alpha, the closest possible location of the Cessna plane. To ramp up the search, personnel from the PNP Special Action Force have joined the operations. Members of the PNP staff took off to Makunakon Airport aboard the Cessna plane on Tuesday, similar to the missing one. Their mission is to travel by land to Divilacan town and conduct ground search from there. Aside from them, 42 staff troopers from Manila, as well as 10 from the Bureau of Fire Protection, will travel by sea to Makunakon. The additional personnel from SAF are a great addition to the search team, as SAF is trained to handle the wilderness of Sierra Madre.
Mga equipment na dinala ng search and rescue unit natin, ma'am, meron silang mga search sound detectors, mga spineboard, mga tactical stretcher, mga necessary equipment para sa pag-search, ma'am. So meron din mga drones na i-utilize.
Overall, more than 200 rescuers have been deployed to find the missing Cessna plane, with the first batch of the team who left on Saturday still approaching Site Alpha. Their commander is thankful for the rescuers and volunteers' dedication, despite the harsh environment and the hazards involved.
Hirap na hirap yung mga tao. Sobrang lamig, nababasa sila kasi, tapos paakyat pa, maulap, tapos mahangin. Masyado daw maginaw, hindi na nila kaya. So, bumababa. Pero, meron namang iba na nagpapatuloy pa rin at meron namang bago na nakapagpahinga na dati, lalargahan ulit sila. Ang problema nga lang dyan, baba nila, start na naman from square one. At ginagawa nila, kahit mahirap, ginagawa nila. Minsan, kahit halos imposible, ginagawa nilang posible.
Incident Commander Constante Foronda also promised the loved ones of those missing that they will not give up on their search.
Hindi kami suko, hindi kami titigil. Sabi niya, Sir, sabi niya, 5 araw yata, pang 5 araw na. 5 araw na, maawa ka naman dun sa mga anak ko. Sabi niya, isa 10 years old lang, maawa ka naman. Sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo ba, ang turing ko dun sa mga anak mo parang yung mga anak ko na rin, na anak ko na kailangan hanapin ko at iligtas ko. Sabi ko, kaya, huwag ka mag-alala, hindi kami titigil. Naiyak ako.
For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register an account now at signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News. All sides, all the time.